Hey girlfriends, welcome back to my channel. It's Jazz and I'm back as promised with another video. I am going to be doing a perm rod set, but I wanted to come on here really quick and show y'all this wash and go. It's day 4 hair. I really could keep this going, like no lie. I really could keep this going, but I really want to get into these videos for you. I'm trying to keep myself consistent and disciplined on doing this. So I'm going to be doing a perm rod set. I'm going to be using the smallest size that I have. The only issue is that I might run out of space. So we're going to see how this works once I get started. I'm going to be using the Kaleidoscope Soul Fed collection. Now I got this a while ago, but I got a text from them saying they had restocked. And when I went online just to check out the products again, they were sold out already in one day. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see what the hype is about. So look out for the restock, whenever that might be. I was in their comments earlier and apparently people got what they needed and got up out of there. So let's just get into this video. So I've already shampooed and deep conditioned, but I wanted to show y'all this deep conditioner. For one, it smells amazing. It's called Cranberry Deep Conditioner. And if you can see how much I used, I really didn't use that much. And this, I feel like I used too much. It smells bomb. This will last you a good while. It has cranberry, vitamin C, olive, and avocado oils. Avocado oil is really good for your hair. I've been slipping on this. So that was the deep conditioner, and just because I just did a deep conditioning treatment with my last wash and go, and I used a hot head cap, I really just put that on while I was in the shower and while I washed up or whatever and rinsed it out. I didn't do that with heat, but I'm sure it will be bomb with heat. And the Mac and Clean sulfate free shampoo. I like sulfate free especially because of my color. This has coconut milk, vitamin A, and vitamin B12. I like this because my hair didn't feel stripped after I used it. Those two were bomb. I'm going to go do the back of my head and get that out of the way. And I'm going to come back in and really focus on how these rods need to be set, because I know a lot of people have questions about how they close and all that. So I'm going to really dig into that. Be right back. So the back really took some time just because I had to make sure that I had enough space on the rod, like I mentioned before. So I'm using the Marshmallow Leave-In Conditioner. I really liked the consistency of it. I really didn't want to try and use too much just because I didn't want it to be too heavy, being that I was going to be using the gel as well. I really liked the gel. Kind of reminded me of Eco Styler gel as far as the consistency. I've never used Eco Styler gel, but just by looking at it and just from, the past. So if you look at the perm rods, there's 2 slots on each side. So you can close the perm rod to the front or to the back. And this is what's going to help you have your roots not frizzy and making sure you close the rod properly. What you want to do is close the rod across the root of your hair. So the piece of hair that's coming from the scalp is the direction that you want to close the rod. So the smaller pieces that I'm doing right now are really quick. So I'm just trying to show you how I'm closing them, and then I'm going to really get into more detail as I show you this piece here. You also want to make sure you keep your hair smooth. That is what's going to make it so much easier to wrap the hair around in a circular rotation. I couldn't see what I was doing, but if you have to stop and brush just to make sure that piece is smooth, that's going to make your definition so much better. Take your time. Now this is where you see this piece here. That's the where you want to close in that direction, and it's going to keep the rod in place. So I'm going to show you one more time. I know this is sped up, but please take your time in making sure you are doing this as neat as possible. So you go in, you can see that there's a slot there. So I'm going to move the string to the slot in the back and then pull that across the root. So you can see most of those pieces are the slot in the front is not being used because it's being pulled to the back and wrapped around towards the front. Depending on where your rod ends up will determine if you want to go towards the back or towards the front. So I'm going to show you here again. And like I said, take your time. Make sure you are doing this as neat as possible. So I'm going to go across the front, across my root, and keeping that tight. And it's not going to move. You're not going to be left with puffy roots. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to just rush through. So I just wrapped that around and I didn't really focus on how I'm closing it. And so if you see, this is where people like, that's going to dry poofy because it's just left loose. It's going to air dry poofy. So you want to make sure you're closing that in place. Like that isn't considered properly closed. Even though it may look like it, you got the hair on there, the rod is done, you think you've done it, but if it's loose, if you can move it at the root, it's not closed properly. And if you have to use a little bit of the gel just to make sure that your hair sticks to the rod, feel free to do so. So I couldn't really see what I was doing, but I'm pulling it towards the back and then I'm going to close it across the front. Does that make sense? So now it's in place. Easy. I know y'all can do this. I know you can. I was so happy to be done. Like you have no idea. So I sat under the dryer for about an hour. I didn't plan on staying under there over an hour, but Jalen stayed asleep. So I sat under the dryer for an hour and then I air dried overnight. So please make sure your hair is fully dry, however you have to do that. If you need to air dry for 2 days, if you don't want to sit underneath the dryer, do that. But make sure your hair is completely dry or you will not be happy with the results. And I used 50 rods, so I wasn't trying to not have this dry after 50 rods. So as you can see, this definition, this is what I mean when I say take your time. This is the reward for taking your time, doing this properly, and you're gonna have great results every time. So as far as the Soul Fed collection, I was very pleased with these products and I did not have to use much. So these are gonna last me for a while, especially I got them on sale because, you know, products are inexpensive. So back to these curls though. I knew, you know, when I had it finally set that they were going to be nice. So we don't want to ruin all these curls. So what I like to do is you put a little bit of oil on your hands and I'm tugging on these just to give them a little bit more stretch before I start to separate. Because you don't want to separate and then try to get more stretch as you're pulling on it because you're just ruining the curls. And this also is kind of breaking the gel cast a little bit by tugging on them before you start separating. So you can see the difference here that between separating and not separating. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. Okay. I did not hit record. Okay, you gotta wait, boo. So, this is just with the minimum amount of fluffing. I'm gonna leave it like this just because, so I did pick out my roots just a little bit. I thought I was recording and I wasn't, but that's okay. So
this is my hair. This is my hair.
That's your hair, I know. So this is what we have. Now it's gonna be tight the first day, but I don't mind it because wait, when you see how it grows each day, it's gonna be worth it. And you're gonna keep all of this bomb definition because what you don't wanna do is pull. You ruin all that definition and you'll have a mess. So I'll show you an example of waiting day 1 and day whatever after. But yeah, so I'm going to do a video on this style, how it grows over the 7 days, because look at that. But this is gonna give me shape that I can't get because I don't have layers. So I've created a cute little bang, you know? So you don't have to have a part down the middle. You can have a part down the middle if you want, but you don't have to. So I can't really see what I'm doing, but y'all see You see what's happening here? I love it. This is kind of like a straw set dupe without all of the straws. If you haven't seen my straw set video, check that out. I use like 96 straws. In this case, I only use 50 of those blue rods. This side, I don't know where they went, but I will link them in the description box as to which particular size those are. And like I said, this is like minimal separation. So as the days go on, I'm gonna keep the definition that I have, and you'll see how much better it gets over time. But I don't want to ruin any of these curls that I work so hard for. So, and I have an event on Saturday, so this is actually going to be perfect. You'll see how big and perfect this is going to get, and it's going to last you at least a week minimum. Like, I've had this size last me up to 2 weeks. So, but if I do 2 weeks, then I can't create content if I'm not doing my hair. So I might not let it go 2 weeks. I'll probably just do a full week just so you can see what it looks like. And then I'll move on to something else. So yes, I know it's tight. For everyone who don't like the tight curls, trust me, if you do this a couple of days before you go on somewhere, you'll thank me later. And it will last you all week. You get to leave your hair alone. This is great for transitioning. Trust me. So stay tuned for how I get this to last, or the 7 days of this style. I'll do a video on that. And before we go, somebody has wash day today.
Bye, worms.
You say bye.
Bye, worms.
Say bye, Curlfriends.
Bye, children.
You see yourself?
Hi.
Say see you later.
See you later.
Okay. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button for me so YouTube knows that I am still here. As always, thank you so much for watching this video and all my videos. I appreciate the support. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this style. Are you going to try this size? Let me know. And look out for my upcoming video on how this lasts for 7 days. So stay tuned for that.